Hey, what's up, everybody? Marcos Villegas for Fight Up TV, being joined now with Joseph Diaz Jr., who's getting geared up for his fight this weekend on DAZN against Devin Haney. Jojo, man, good to see you. Good morning. How are you feeling, man? You're a few days away from this fight.
Good to see you too, man. I'm feeling good, feeling ready, feeling very, very confident. Weight is good. Training camp went well. I'm ready to go, man. I know that this is my moment to go out there and to prove to everybody what I'm all about, and to showcase to everybody that experience is key, and that's what I'm planning on doing. Come Saturday night is showing that with all the experience that I have dealt with inside the ring and outside the ring, that is going to make me victorious come Saturday night.
Yeah, speaking of the experience, I brought that same subject up to Devin, and Devin's like, look, Jojo hasn't faced a guy in Jorge Linares, who's a 3-division world champion. Like, how is he saying experience when I've beaten the most experienced guy that either of us have faced?
Yeah, I mean, Jorge Linares, don't get me wrong, he was a 3-division world champion, but he was already going out in his career. He's a little older. His body already took a lot of punishment, so his body isn't capable of doing what Jorge Linares is capable of doing. I feel like the weight cut that Jorge Linares does as well, played a major impact. And I feel like just his age, when he had Devin Haney hurt, he couldn't, be over aggressive like how he should have, man. And like I said, I just feel like that it was Devin Haney's toughest fight with Jorge Linares. But with me, man, I fought so many tough fighters and guys that elite fighters already, maybe not have simulated Devin Haney's exact style, but the speed, the timing, the power, all that I've already faced. And now I just got to go out there and just adjust to whatever Devin Haney tries to bring to the table. And I feel like I've already seen a lot inside that ring where whatever he tries to bring, I'm going to be able to adapt and to adjust and to figure him out and get him out of there.
Fans have noted that your last 4 fighters, when you won the title, Farmer, then you went, not even in general. I want to say like the last 5, like Russell, Farmer, Rockamoff, Fortuna, like those guys, in like the combined records and experience of them, would you say that those opponents are better than Devin Haney, had more boxing skills than Devin Haney?
I wouldn't say better. Maybe Devin Haney has better, skill as far as skill wise, but as far as experience and as far as being there, in the limelight, being there, in a pro fight, getting hurt, getting knocked down, dealing with adversity, going through adversity. I felt like those guys already dealt with that. And those guys are very tough in their own different aspects of fighting. And I feel like with all that experience that I have gained, it just combined me. It just made me, absorb everything that is, presented to me inside that ring. And I feel like Devin Haney, he hasn't been through that adversity. He's been hurt, but he hasn't been, cut. He hasn't been, really, knocked down. He hasn't been days, like really serious days where a guy's going to go out there and hurt him and go for the kill. I feel like he hasn't reached any of those levels yet. And come Saturday night, man, I'm planning on, exposing him.
How would you rate like his mental game? Like, how do you think Devin Haney is mentally?
I mean, everybody going inside that ring, I feel like is mentally strong because you gotta be crazy to step inside those rings and to be training every day and to be sacrificing your body, putting all that, stress on your body, just both mentally and physically. Training camp is very, very tough. So I feel like his mental game is tough, but like I said, man, we just got to test him out. I got to test him out come Saturday night when we're in that ring. He could be all, flamboyant and talking and try to, be all cocky outside of the ring, and him and his team. But at the end of the day, come December 4th, it's just going to be me and him inside that ring. And it's going to be my mind and his mind and my body against his body. And we're going to see who has the bigger heart come fight night.
Devin Haney has a excellent jab. He's a very, very technical fighter, but he has long range. How are you approaching this fight, Jojo? Like, how do you see it mentally? Like, what do you have to do to avoid being kept at distance due to his jab?
Um, like I said, you just have to be able to find your way to get inside that jab. Whenever Devin Haney tries to use that jab, I got to use my legs and make sure that I apply a lot of pressure. I mean, I have a good game plan going into this fight. I already know exactly what I need to do. If Devin Haney wants to, try to utilize his jab and try to, keep his range from me, that's only going to work for a certain amount of time until there is going to be a point in the fight where we're going to have to bang it out and we're going to be fighting on the inside. And I'm going to make sure that point actually gets made come December 4th. So I'm excited for whatever he tries to bring to the table. I'm excited for him trying to think that he's a bigger fighter than me, that he can overwhelm me, thinking that he's stronger than me. And maybe he might come with a different game plan and want to bang on the inside. Or maybe he wants to, just try to use his range like how he always does and be defensive. But at the end of the day, like I said, I fought already slick fighters before. I fought guys that are fast. I fought guys that are powerful. So I'm ready for whatever he tries to bring to the table.
You faced off with him yesterday in Vegas. Did you had a chance to talk to him at all?
Nah, right now it's just strictly business. I'm not going to be talking. We might talk again, maybe tomorrow for the press conference, and for the weigh-ins when things are getting a little hyped and when the fight's already close and near. But yesterday it was just, face off, just going straight to the business and going back to work, getting my rest and, keeping my weight down and just focusing on the fight on December 4th.
Going back to your preparation for this fight, was this camp any different than the other ones? Like, was the intensity more? Like, tell me a little bit more about how this camp was preparing for Devin Haney.
Well, the thing is, because this is my second fight at 135 now, so I made sure that with the first fight against Javier Fortuna, I built my body and I made sure that my body was good to take punches and to be endured at 135, and that was my first fight. But with this second fight around, I kind of, went back to the basics, went with my strength and conditioning coach and knew what we had to do to be a better fighter at 135 pounds. That's with, building my legs, getting my endurance still going, keeping my power and keeping my speed, but also, adding on to it as well. And overall, man, I feel great at 135 pounds. This was probably one of the best camps that I've had because I had about a 12-week training camp. Right after Javier Fortuna fight, I took 2 weeks off and I was still in the gym with Daryl Hudson, just making, not in the boxing gym, but just, in the weight room, making sure that my body was developing perfectly for this weight at 135 pounds because I knew I was going to get a big fight either with Ryan Garcia or Devin Haney. So I wanted to make sure that I covered all the bases. So that's probably what was the major difference was, focusing more on the power and the conditioning.
You feel filled out now, like at 135, like you feel like I'm finally like grown into this division?
Oh yeah, man. Yeah, I can't wait until everybody sees me come weigh-ins, man. You guys are gonna see my legs. My legs got a lot bigger. They're a lot more stronger. My body's more filled out. My back, my arms. I just feel a lot more solid at 135 pounds. And come fight night, man, I'll be a lot of people don't think that I'm gonna be a big guy in there, man. But I'm gonna be a pretty big guy at 135 pounds come fight night.
When you had your title shot at 126 against Gary Russell Jr., you started out the fight very, very strong. I want to say like the first 4 or 5 rounds, you look freaking great. And then Russell was able to adjust. And from that point, he was able to take the fight. Drawing on that experience, seeing that, if you were to compare Gary Russell to Devin Haney, I think 9 out of 10 boxing fans would say Gary Russell is the more talented, better fighter. What are you drawing from that experience that you feel is going to be helpful coming into this fight so that you get the win over Devin on Saturday?
That it's killed or be killed, and that I got to go out there and risk it all. I know that opportunities are only once in a lifetime. And my fight with Gary Russell Jr., I feel like I didn't grasp that moment and grasp that opportunity. I was in the moment and I did what I was able to, what I was doing, but I didn't go out there and take more chances and take more risks like I should have. And I feel like if I would have took more risks, the outcome would have been a lot different and I would have been victorious that night. But now with this, man, like I said, I dealt with loss. I felt that adversity and I felt that defeat, and I never want to go there again. So with the Devin Haney fight, I'm gonna do everything possible to, break him down both mentally and physically, because I know that opportunities only come once in a lifetime, and God has blessed me with this dream that I've been dreaming of since I was 11 years old, to be fighting here in Las Vegas at the MGM Grand main event, man. Like, this right here is just I'm literally living my dream right now, man. So I'm very excited. And I know that this is the moment of my life, and I gotta, grasp it and take full advantage. So I'm ready to go out there and risk it all.
And I just want to get your response on this, Jojo. In some interviews that Devin's done, he feels that he's gonna cut you and stop you in the fight. What's your response to that?
I mean, I always get cut. I always get cut, and if I do end up getting cut, people know me. I'm a warrior, and I'm gonna keep on fighting. I'm gonna make sure of it. I'm gonna make sure that the judges know that I'm an okay fighter. I mean, I fought with cuts before, so I could deal with that. It's nothing new to me, and I'm able to do it. So if he thinks that he's gonna be able to cut me and stop me, there's no way that I'm gonna be stopping. I'm not gonna quit. I'm gonna keep coming no matter what.
Yeah, and if fans don't remember, when you beat Tevin, you had that gnarly freaking cut on your eye. It looked like a third eyeball.
Yeah, man, it was pretty wicked, man. But like I said, I know that even with that fight, I got that cut, but I knew that was an opportunity of a lifetime, and that was my second chance to become world champion. So I had to, just avoid everything, avoid the hurtness, avoid, that distraction right there, and just stick to the game plan. And that's what I did, and I kept doing what I needed to do to come out victorious. And that's what I plan on doing with Devin Haney come Saturday night. Whatever needs that I need to possibly get done or do inside that ring to be victorious, I'm gonna do.
And adding an extra fold to all of this, over the weekend, George Kambosos Jr. upsetting Teofimo Lopez to win his lightweight titles. That has to add extra motivation coming into this fight, right?
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. Because a lot of people counted George Kambosos out. George Kambosos is a young competitive fighter as well. He's not as experienced. He has the same amount of fights as, Devin Haney and Teofimo. So I wouldn't say that my career is just like his. And the outcome, if I beat Devin Haney, I don't think it's going to be a shock to me. It's not going to be a shock. It's just going to be like, all right, I got it done. Now it's time to focus on somebody else, because like I said, man, I feel like I'm still young in the game. I'm 29 years old. I'm at my prime right now. My body is at its finest, and I'm just ready to go, and I'm hungry. And I I know. Congratulations to George Kambosos. I know that he did everything that he needed to do to come out victorious, and it was one hell of a fight. He did a tremendous job. But my main focus right now is Devin Haney and just getting him out of there. And after that, focusing on somebody else.
Well, he speaks highly of you, because when I asked him what he thought about this fight, he's like, do not count out Jojo. Like, Jojo can win this fight.
Yeah, I appreciate that. Yeah, because George Kambosos, man, real recognized real, and I know that George, he's a real fighter, and he's a guy that works for everything that he has accomplished. He don't get no handouts either, just like myself. And he actually, worked and did everything possible, sacrificed, did all the dedication to become where he's at right now. And I respect him, and hats off to him. And I'm hoping, and looking forward to a great clash with him later on down the line. It'll be fireworks for all the fight fans. So right now, like I said, my main focus is Devin Haney, and I just got to go out there and just do my thing, have fun, enjoy and love what I do, and come out victorious come Saturday night.
Curious, Jojo, what did you make of the actual fight he had with Teo, like the way that Teo fought and the way that George fought?
I knew Teofimo Lopez and his father thought that George Kambosos was a nobody, man. But I was looking at some of his tapes, and I seen how hungry he was, and I was like, man, this guy is going to be a major threat. I mean, he's not going to knock him out in the fucking first round like how everybody thinks he is, man. He's 21. He's 21-0. He's an undefeated fighter. He's fought Lee Selby. He's fought good fighters already. He had a good resume coming up, and he's hungry, and he knows that this is the moment of his life too. So it wasn't going to be a walk in the park. But Teofimo Lopez and his father, I think Teofimo Lopez thought that he was going to be able to knock him out because of how big he was. Even outside of the camp, he was pretty big and pretty strong and solid. But that weight cut, I feel like, drained him, and his body wasn't able to function like how it usually functions at different weights when you're hydrated. So he didn't have that pop anymore. He didn't have that snap. He didn't have that, quickness like he does. He was still sharp and, still a good fighter in there, but he didn't have what he had. That weight cut really did drain him. And George Kambosos did exactly what he needed to do. He knew that Teofimo Lopez was going to be dehydrated that fight. He knew that he needed to, work more, keep out on distance and not get caught with those shots. He was getting caught here and there, but right after he was getting caught, he was retaliating right away too to keep Teofimo Lopez from off of him. So he fought a great game plan and a great night of boxing, and he deserves everything that is given to him.
Yeah, I feel that throughout the fight, Teo just wanted to knock him out, and he didn't really have like an overall game plan to implement in the fight.
Yeah, that's exactly what it was. He thought that he was going to be able to knock him out and just put him to sleep, man. Teofimo Lopez is a hell of a fighter, and I know that fighters, it's not over for him. Fighters, take defeats, and it's just a matter of if they're going to learn from it or if they're going to dwell from it. If they're going to, be sad and, get overwhelmed by that sadness and not want to progress, or be like, you know what, fuck it, man. I ended up losing, but I got to adapt. I got to adjust. This is what I did wrong. And I feel like Teofimo Lopez, he's that type of guy and type of fighter that is going to progress from this. And I think that this is not over. I just think he has to make a few adjustments inside his camp, maybe move up in weight. And I think he's going to still be one hell of a fighter.
Yeah. I think he said like before the fight that he's going to move up to 140 pounds because, he can't do the cut anymore. But a lot of people have said that he needs to change trainers because the advice that his dad was giving him in the corner, they were saying was like really, really bad. And his dad saying that he won the fight like 10-2.
Yeah, I don't think he won the fight at all, man. I think George Kambosos won the fight. It was a competitive fight. It was an action-packed fight. They were both delivering some shots, but George Kambosos was getting the best of them, and he was winning the rounds. As far as the trainer, man, whatever feels more comfortable with Teofimo Lopez is if he feels that, having his dad on his side is going to benefit him and going to progress his career, that's his choice. But if he wants to make that change and feels like he needs somebody that is going to, actually give him a game plan and actually tell him what he's doing wrong and tell him the truth too. Like, you're losing this round. You need to do better this round. This is what you're doing wrong and stuff like that. Then, I mean, the choice is up to him. It's nobody else's choice. It's up to Teofimo Lopez on what he wants to do because it's his career.
Yeah, no, definitely. Ultimately, it is up to him. And now we're so close, Jojo. If you win this fight, you got a right to be undisputed against George, because obviously if you win, George is going to want to fight with you. And George has said that he's going to be there in Vegas, scoping out the fight. Going back to your fight with Devin now, ultimately, like, how have you seen this in your mind playing out?
I see this playing out just exactly how I planned it, man. Filling out Devin Haney, knowing that he's going to try to keep me out on bay, but being the dog that I am and roughing him up, getting him tired, making him fight in the pocket, and getting him out of there. Either late stoppage or stoppage around the 8th round. I'm planning on just overwhelming them with my endurance, my strength, my power, my experience, and the knowledge that I have inside the ring. And like I said, this is my moment, and I'm going to come out victorious come Saturday night.
If you win, is that the next logical step, a fight with George Kambosos, or you're thinking maybe Lomachenko or Gervonta Davis?
I want the biggest fights possible for my career. Right now I feel like I'm at my prime, so I want to fight the best, and I want to leave a legacy. So if George Kambosos and they want to fight after this fight, let's make it happen. If not, I want Gervonta Davis. I want Gervonta Davis next. I want these guys that people are hardly talking about, because I want to face the top tier, and I want people to know that I'm not afraid to fight them and I'm willing to fight these guys. Not like people that are just calling people out, but then when the going gets tough or when the contract is actually sent to them, they're not going to sign. I want to fight either George Kambosos or Gervonta Davis next.
I think you've already proved that, though, Jojo, that you're not afraid to take challenges. If you look at the list of the fighters you fought, the last 4 or 5, like, all those guys are tough dudes. People don't want to fight against them because they're hard fights. So I think you've already went ahead and showed that. Last thing, just quickly, Tank's fighting on Sunday against Pitbull Cruz. What do you make of that fight? Do you think that fight will be a competitive fight?
I think it's gonna be a competitive fight because that guy Isaac Cruz, he's a fucking dog, man. Like he's a rock, dude. Like he hits hard as shit. So I think if you don't get caught by a shot by Gervonta Davis early, then it's gonna be a tough fight. And I just I hope Gervonta Davis is not taking him lightly as well, and making sure that he's boxing, keeping his angles, and not just fighting in the pocket, because this guy is a dangerous threat as well, and anything can happen in boxing. So I'm excited to watch it. I know it's going to be fireworks, and I know it's going to be a great night of fights too after our fight.
Are you planning on making that quick trip from Vegas to LA to be there at the fight?
Nah, man. After my fight, I'm gonna spend some time with my son, enjoy my victory, and spend some time with him. Just probably take him to Circus, relax a little bit, have some lunch with the family, and just enjoy my time off.
All right. That is Joseph Jojo Diaz Jr. fights Devin Haney this Saturday on DAZN. Jojo, thank you so much, bro.
Thank you, Marcos. I'll see you soon, man.
Thank you so much for watching this video, and make sure to subscribe for more videos of your favorite fighters over here on Fight Up TV, and give us a follow online as well at Fight Up TV on Twitter and on Instagram. We appreciate it, guys.